Hello, ladies and gentlemen on my channel. Hello, my friends, I'd say. Um, it's been some time, but it's always great pleasure to speak to you and receive feedback from you. That's very important for me. Thank you so much for your feedback. So far, it's great. You're amazing. You're awesome. Thank you. You know what? Last night, because I had a sleepless night, so I was watching some um, YouTube videos by different creators, of course, referring to the Kohlberger situation in court, and and all of a sudden I found myself in a kind of difficult situation, like a feud between me and one or two, or maybe I would say one of them, like creators, which was, in my opinion, a total absurd. But some people have just too high of an ego, and they just cannot simply accept that there are facts. Because I wrote a comment in which I referred to a fact, and that was not accepted. I will not give you the name of anyone because that's not the point here. However, this YouTuber was so upset that he decided to make an extra live just to react to that and insult me in insult me in the most aggressive vocabulary, in terms of his vocabulary, the most aggressive way. And you can, I don't know if you can think of who I'm talking about, but this person does not really think of what words to use when he criticizes the people who comments, not necessarily accordingly to his will, to his expectations. I was not by any means criticizing anyone. I was just giving a simple fact, and I will tell you what I'm talking about in a moment. And I was called a dumb PUSAY, and maybe you know who this person is because there is a certain creator who uses this kind of language. The sewage language. It's really nasty. It's really rude. It's an ultimate insult for a woman. But he doesn't care. He doesn't care, right? That simply implies what kind of person this is. This is a person who looks down on people because, well, I am the best here. I am the one who creates the rules, and you're either playing according to my rules or just out of my channel. Okay. But we cannot really communicate in a more humane way? Is that the language that he acquired while he was in prison, or just that he went into prison having this kind of language and just went even worse? I don't know, but this is this kind of person. His vocabulary is simply that narrow. Too bad. So, disregarding people, putting them down, looking down on them, and insulting them is the way of just saying, I'm sorry, I'm not totally agree with your comments. Yeah, this is the way. This is just paraphrasing. Is not this person's best way of communicating. No, paraphrasing, no. Too bad. So, it all started with a video concerning the motion to dismiss the indictments, Brian Kohlberger's indictment, because of the discrepancy that is between the federal law concerning the grand jury and the Idaho law concerning the grand jury. His defense pointed out that in Idaho it's different, and the jurors were instructed wrongly because the standards are higher. They were not instructed according to the Idaho standards. They were instructed according to the federal law standards, which is wrong because Idaho has its own standards. And the standards are, and let me just read it for you. The grand jury ought to find an indictment when all the evidence before them, taken together, if unexplained or uncontradicted, would, if their judgment warrant a conviction by a tried jury. Would, in their judgment, warrant a conviction by a trial jury. So, there, the evidence must be stronger. The evidence must be solid. It's not that they throw out some pieces of evidence which is just like, we have a car which we think is Brian Kohlberger's car, but we'll see during the trial. We are not, well, okay, we've got this DNA, but this DNA, there are so many, as I said, puzzles that are thrown into the air and they fell down in total disarray. And that is not accepted, that should not be accepted by the grand jury according to the Idaho statute. Because together, if unexplained or uncontradicted, would, in their judgment, warrant a conviction by a trial jury. So, they should have all the evidence the standard is much higher in Idaho, put in front of the grand jury. So if something is if they find something unsubstantiated or just missing the point, or they have questions, that this does not meet the standard of the Idaho statute. And as we know, the jurors had as many as I think 6 or more questions, referring to the evidence or something else. We don't know exactly, but they had questions, they had doubts. So it's not that everything is clear to them. In this case, it's not like in any other state that they can just move on. No, the standard is higher. They cannot move on if they have doubts. The evidence before them, if unexplained, cannot be taken into account. So it means that the indictment itself should be just thrown away. But it won't. And you know why? Because the judge said, and the judge said that it's not up to him. He doesn't want to be bothered, because it's just they have followed this rule for many years. I mean, the wrong one. So now they cannot switch into the right one, because what does it mean? A total mess. And it's not up to him to change it. It's up to some higher institution, but not to him. So he just does not want to be bothered by this mess that he himself created. Because I bet he knew about that. He must have known. But somehow he decided, I don't know why, but he decided to follow the easier way, to keep Brian Kohlberger behind bars, awaiting the trial, where he actually shouldn't, because of those technicalities. And I cannot imagine how prosecution just disregards the law and the standards and the statute of their state. Just to I don't know, prove the point. And what's the point here? The evidence is, no, just let me be clear here. There's no evidence. There is no clear evidence. And no jury having this evidence that is in PCA will put this man to death. But no, they must be correct. They create the law. They decide about this person's life right now. Why? Why? If it's breaking the law, just in front of our eyes. And this is what I was saying. That was my comment. I mean, my comment was that I read it and I heard it. I watched this video about 4 days ago. And a certain YouTuber decided yesterday that he broke the news, right? Yeah, he decided he enlightened us with this information that is common knowledge, because it's everybody has access to this on the internet, on YouTube. It's no wonder. It's no wonder that I mean, how is this treated as a secret? It's not a secret. Everybody can watch. This is Ław and Crime sidebar channel, and everybody can watch it. So this Mr. J did not break any news yesterday, and this was not his contribution into our enlightenment whatsoever. But because I wrote it in the comments section that there is a video about our referring to his topic, which has been available for at least 3 days on YouTube, it made him furious. So well, if simple facts make a man furious, it simply shows what his ego is. What his ego is like. And he has a problem with himself. And I suggest this, I don't know, therapy? Maybe, I don't know. I don't care, actually. He can do whatever he wants, just steer clear of myself, and that's it. And then he comments. So that was something I wanted to say, because this is not complicated. In the state of Idaho, there is a different standard, and that standard was not met by the court. It was ignored, just because the judge is lazy. He suggested it should go to Supreme Court, because it's not his job. That was his answer. Ignorance, pure ignorance. Now, or it has been practiced I told you about that. So that is what makes me furious. How this court treats Brian Kohlberger and his life, because it is all about his life. Of course, now I'm not talking about the victims of the crime, because this is not about the victims of the crime this time. It is about following the law, which is totally ignored in Brian Kohlberger's case. And I think not only in his case, but we can also observe it in Alan's case. In Alan, and I'm referring to you see, I forgot the words. To the murders of the two girls. Sorry, I will remember in a moment. Richard Allen's two defense attorneys were kicked off just simply by the judge. One of them wanted to come back pro bono, and he was once again denied. Why? The one that had nothing to do with the leak of the photographs from the crime scene. Delphi murders. Okay, sorry, Delphi. Yeah. So the one who had nothing to do with the leaks, and he wanted to come back and represent his client pro bono, and he was denied just because the judge is has all the powers and can decide whatever they want. And Richard Allen asked for the attorney to remain by his side, and that was not enough. Nothing was enough. Nothing was enough. And now we know that his trial is deferred until the 15th of October 2024. Yeah. So that is I find it more and more unbelievable, amazing what's going on in those two cases, like Idaho 4 and Delphi. And it looks shady as hell. And my friends, I don't believe Brian Kohlberger is guilty. And if he has something to do with this crime, I am able to accept that he was not the only one. But he did not act alone. The evidence does not prove that. And somebody just fools us, plays us like hell. Thank you so much for your attention. See you next time. Have a great time. And it's still Halloween here. So, great Halloween. And see you next time. Bye.